morning Newsline is brought to you by the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc.
Regional governments begin to clearing millions of dollars in debt to the University of the West Indies. Our top story in Caribbean Newsline for Friday, October 12 from the CMC News Center in Bridgetown. I'm Ricardo Roberts. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. The University of the West Indies, UWI Vice-Chancellor Sir Hilary Beckles is reporting that regional governments have started clearing millions of dollars owed to the educational institution. During a press conference on Thursday at the UWI's Cave Hill campus in Barbados, he said the progress in recouping the debt comes on the heels of CARICOM heads selecting Prime Minister Timothy Harris of St. Kitts, Nevis to negotiate settlement of the receivables with his fellow Prime Ministers. While he did not say how much money has been paid, the UWI Vice-Chancellor reported that significant strides have been made.
In the last 4 months, Prime Minister Harris has spoken to all of the prime ministers. He has put in place a system where his office is engaged in all of them to speak about how to get these receivables made available to UWI. So far, he has made significant strides. A number of countries, especially in the Eastern Caribbean, have paid significant blocks of revenue into us as a result of his shuttle diplomacy.
The Vice-Chancellor said the university had proposed that where governments could not give cash, performing assets would suffice to strengthen the UWI's balance sheets and improve future revenues. He told reporters that after giving UWI some cash, Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley signed an agreement with the university to transfer a brand new state-of-the-art public hospital in East Trinidad as a performing asset.
The government and the campus at St. Augustine are working through a strategy to put a management system in place to run this public hospital so that the revenues will be streamed into the UWI. That is an example of the kind of model that we are looking for as well. So it's an enormous investment of a real asset in the UWI. And I have no doubt that we will be able to put in place the management structure to put this hospital onto the market and generate some revenues. Other countries are working through other strategies. So where we are in a position at this moment where government by government, we are working through either a cash injection to pare down the receivables, or there is negotiations around assets, primarily land and other performing assets.
So Hilary added that Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, Gaston Brown, has committed to writing a check to the university every month for the next 6 months. And in the case of Barbados, Sir Hilary said that although the country is experiencing serious economic challenges, it is treating the money owed to the university as a national debt and has pledged to renege on its financial and has pledged not to renege on its financial obligation. And Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley is making good on his promise to have investigations into an opposition legislator's allegations against him started. In a media release issued Thursday afternoon, the Prime Minister said he had sent correspondence to the Commissioner of Police, Gary Griffith, and the Director of the Financial Intelligence Unit, Susan Francois, requesting an investigation into the allegations of criminal conduct made against him and other persons by Dr. Rudal Munilal. Dr. Rowley is also filing a lawsuit for libel against the MP for and United National Congress, Shogunus Alderman and Public Relations Officer of the United National Congress Women's Arm, Marissa Ramlogan, in connection with the allegations. Munilal alleged that he had documents which revealed the Prime Minister to be the beneficiary of a $1 million bank account linked to last year's A&V drilling scandal, in which the company allegedly inflated its oil production figures and defrauded state-owned oil company Petrotrin of millions of dollars. Antigua and Barbuda's suspended Commissioner of Police Wendell Robinson has been slapped with 2 internal charges for discreditable misconduct. Now, he was reportedly served with the charges on Thursday, weeks after an investigation into allegations against him was concluded. Now, Robinson was suspended in April this year after several male subordinates reported he sexually harassed them. The embattled top cop subsequently sued the Police Service Commission over his suspension, claiming it was unlawful and unfair. The matter is pending in the High Court following a hearing last week. Still in Antigua and Barbuda, now 2 Rastafarian groups are forming a company to benefit from the country's emerging medical marijuana industry. The plan was outlined by Ambassador Franklin King, Frank I. Francis, and as we hear from this ABS TV's Jamie J. Rocha, it falls in line with government's vision for the medical marijuana industry.
Frankai says the entity is called Rastafarian Cannabis Company and the registration process is near completion. The company is a step closer toward ensuring the Prime Minister's commitment to Rastafarians is realized. There was a commitment that as a form of reparation, that any future economic harvesting of this particular plant, that in lieu of our penance, that there should be some type of economic inclusion of the Rastafari community. The company is currently in discussions with the Ethiopia Medical Marijuana Company, which has made several presentations to Cabinet on doing business in Antigua. Next week, Cabinet will also speak with actress Whoopi Goldberg. Goldberg and marijuana advocate Maya Elizabeth have established a medical marijuana company, Whoopi and Maya, in the United States. We have received through Ambassador Bobby Webson that the approach has been made with his office in the United States about an interest in engaging the government. So it will be too early for me to state what the conversation will be staged on, but clearly she has an interest in the industry. The first reading of a bill to govern the regulation of medical marijuana products will take place in Parliament next week.
And that report from Jamie J. Roche of ABS TV News. Over in Grenada now, police have confirmed that a powerful strain of marijuana grown from plants native to Europe and the United States was recently discovered on the island, and 2 people have been held in connection with the find. Now, according to police reports, 39-year-old Mason Ken Stanislaus and Angela Pear, a 32-year-old cook, have been jointly charged with possession of the cannabis, among other charges, including cocaine, gun and ammunition possession. Now, they were held on Wednesday following the search of a house they occupied. During the operation, the police found the marijuana known as creeper or creepy. Now, when compared to other marijuana plants, this particular strain has up to 20% higher levels of the THC, the active psychoactive ingredient in the plant. And coming up in Caribbean Newsline, a police officer in Jamaica being investigated following the disappearance of a taxi driver. Stay with us.
Imagine a tropical getaway where you can indulge in unsurpassed cuisine, culture and adventure this side of the hemisphere at a special rate. Fall for Barbados this October and dive into the rich offerings of the Caribbean Sea or hear the stirring melodies of jazz at the Elan Trotman Jazz Excursion. Explore fine dining with our world-renowned Barbados Food and Rum Festival. Journey to our many attractions. There is so much to see and do in Barbados this October. Book today with code #4BGI.
We continue in Jamaica, where a policeman is under investigation to determine whether he is involved in the disappearance of a taxi driver in the parish of Portland. The driver has been missing for 2 weeks and is feared dead. The officer became a person of interest in the disappearance after the driver identified the policeman by name in a voice note to a friend on September 26th, warning of his possible demise. TVJ's Dashan Hendricks reports.
The social media post says missing, but friends and family members of 27-year-old Port Antonio taxi operator Jeffrey Campbell are fearing the worst. He was last heard from by way of 2 voice notes sent to a friend at about 8 p.m. on September 26. In one, he identified a policeman attached to the Port Antonio police by name, alleging the law enforcer was after him. We cannot play that voice note for legal reasons. In the other, he sent out a warning.
Crime has no contact. I'm going to some later and then it's Jesus. I trust a shot after dark, is it? I don't know where, because it's something I deal with, isn't it? Something very serious too, I'm not going to lie. So, I see the contact here if it's me come back. If you hear about me, you know, what make something, yes?
He did not say what was so serious or where he was going with the copy named in the voice note. Head of the Portland Police Superintendent Dwayne Wellington said that the cop who was identified is now under investigation and his firearm has been seized and the tests done.
The police has been removed from frontline duties and is assigned to desk duties only without firearm. For transparency, that matter has been referred to the Major Investigation Task Force, Major Investigation Division rather, who are carrying out investigation into same.
He said that the spotlight has been turned onto 2 unidentified bodies which fit the profile of Mr. Campbell to determine if any belong to him. One of the bodies was found in St. Catherine and the other in St. Mary. As for the cop who was identified by Campbell in the voice note,
to this point, the police is not a suspect because we are investigating an incident, a missing person. And until that body is confirmed, then we'll be investigating a murder.
Indicom is, however, investigating the incident.
The first person to be charged in Grenada for violating a section of the Electronic Crimes Act has been fined $35,000 EC. Yerba Philip will spend 18 months in prison if he doesn't pay up. The 25-year-old man published nude photos on social media of a woman with whom he had an intimate relationship. The Electronic Crimes Act was passed in 2013 as one of 5 pieces of legislation aimed at providing guidance to the police and the judiciary in dealing with crimes committed using electronic devices. The maximum penalty is $250,000 EC. The Caribbean and Pacific regions are defending themselves against the latest assault on the coconut industry. A week-long program of the benefits of coconut and the means to combat the disinformation about the product is being held in Barbados. Alison Kentish of HTS News Force has the details.
Don't let us fool ourselves. I do not believe that Coca-Cola and Pepsi-Cola would be making the kind of investments that are making in coconut water if it was not a good thing. And we have it right here at our doorstep. And we have the opportunity to make it very much part of the patrimony.
The Caribbean's coconut industry has seen its fair share of trials. Coconut oil, which has been used for thousands of years, is once again being blasted as unhealthy and, according to a Harvard University professor, one of the worst things you can eat. But the Caribbean has been here before. in the 1950s to be precise. At that time, the scathing reports dealt a crippling blow to the industry. But it's 2018, and the regional agriculture officials are ready to fight back.
Pushing back means that we have to join the lobby, right? In fact, there's a kind of almost a pact that we have established with our colleagues in the Pacific, because there's a parallel project going on right now in the Pacific, also supported with finance from the European Union, and we met last week in Brussels, and that we need to join the lobby. We need to get the right partners. In other words, we need to engage with the ministries of health. We need to engage with the doctors. We need to engage with the universities and the laboratories so that we do our own studies, okay? And we say, yes, this is good, okay? Because there's still a lot of debate out there about who is right and who is wrong. You know, which acid we're talking about, which fatty acid are we talking about? Is this fatty acid the one that causes the high cholesterol or whatever? And then we're hearing that there are good cholesterols and bad cholesterol. We need to join that lobby.
The CARDI executive director says the region's coconut industry can survive various attacks, but must be adequately prepared. That preparation, he says, comes through collaboration.
And we can only do so by way of partnerships. And there's a discussion we have with the Caribbean Public Health Agency and the University of West Indies and more than the medical faculty, because we need to be part of that lobby. Too much is at stake for us to just sit back and say because it is Harvard and things that we need to accept it. No. We are scientists as well, and therefore we need to allow the science to speak the truth.
CARDI hosted a special coconut symposium at Caribbean Week in Agriculture. It explored climate change, risk, disaster management, and strategies moving forward. Barton says the goal is to restore the coconut industry to its glory days when it was part of the fabric of life in the Caribbean.
And ahead in Newsline Sport, Ruston Chase closes in on his 4th test done, even as Windy suffer a post-lunch slide in the 2nd and final test against India. Stay with us. Sport is next.
This hurricane tip comes to you compliments the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency and the Caribbean Media Corporation. Be prepared. Essential items to be kept: keep blankets in dry place or waterproof container.
Imagine a tropical getaway where you can indulge in unsurpassed cuisine, culture and adventure this side of the hemisphere at a special rate. Fall for Barbados this October and dive into the rich offerings of the Caribbean Sea, or hear the stirring melodies of jazz at the Elan Trotman Jazz Excursion. Explore fine dining with our world-renowned Barbados Food and Rum Festival. Journey to our many attractions. There is so much to see and do in Barbados this October. Book today with code #4BGI.
Your luggage is overweight. Your luggage is overweight. How much I must pay?
No, you can't do it like that. You'll have to take some of the things out of the suitcases and put in a box or something.
You know, you're a wicked woman. A wicked fat woman.
Do you want a boxer?
Box me now? You think so you're helping me strike me? Try a box.
Barbados, it's time to laugh again. Get yourselves ready for the Caribbean's funniest men and women. Fast Promotions annual Caribbean Comedy Explosion. Saturday, October 27th, Sir Garfield Sobers Gymnasium, 8 p.m. Get your early bird tickets now and pay $60 before all are sold out at ticketlinks.com. All Ticket Links outlets nationwide. Jeans Inc. Sheraton, CS Pharmacy, Rubis Waldy, and Eddie Supermarket, Spitestown.
I come in here as a loner. I know you spot me from far.
Stroke maker Ruston Chase stood on the brink of his 4th Test 100 after producing a gallant effort to lift West Indies out of trouble against India on the opening of the 2nd and final test on Friday. The 26-year-old right-hander was unbeaten on 98 at the close as West Indies recovered from 113 for 5 inside the first hour after lunch to end on a respectable 295 for 7. Chase was aided by returning captain Jason Holder, who struck a polished 52, while Shea Hope gathered 36 and Shane Dowridge 30, and left-handed opener Kieran Powell 22. Left-arm spinner Kuldeep Yadav, who triggered the post-lunch slide, has taken 3 for 74, while seamer Umesh Yadav, who struck twice in the final session to stymie the Windies' progress, has claimed 3 for 83.
Oh, this is dangerous, yes. Easy for the umpire, no shot offered.
Hetmeyer has to go with 12, it's 92 for 4.
And a swing for Umesh Yadav, but good shot that teases the batsman into playing attacking shots.
Leading edge. Now wicket for Kuldeep. Sunil Ambrose, who goes for 18. It's 1-1-3 for 5.
Lovely shot.
And that's a very good shot. Excellent shot.
This should be close. This should be very close. Everyone appealing. He's gone for the review.
Oh, it's hitting the stumps. That's a great review. It's out. Gone for 30, 182 for 6.
Yeah, punched nicely. Punched very, very nicely.
And that's a half-century, second consecutive half-century for Rostam Chase.
Superlative. Just effortless timing there. Driven, it was over pitch.
Beautiful shot. It was a wide half volley.
He does go short, but Holder plays it well, and it brings up 50 for the Windies captain.
It's claiming a catch. Fingers raised, the batsman's walking.
And Jason Holder leaves after playing a really good innings.
Moves on to 98. Will he get another over? I just saw Virat Kohli pat his back. I think we are done for the day. End of day's play. We've had 95 overs in 6 hours.
Staying with cricket now, Ramal Lewis's 4-wicket haul helped the Guyana Jaguars to their 3rd win in 4 matches as they easily defeated the Windward Islands Volcanoes by 93 runs in their Group A encounter in the Regional Super 50 at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy on Thursday. After being invited to bat first by the Volcanoes and led by an opening stand of 121 between Sherfane Rutherford and Trevon Griffith, the Jaguars posted 231 in 49 overs. Now, Rutherford faced 61 balls and struck 10 boundaries and 1-6 in his innings. Griffith was joined by Christopher Barnwell, and the two added 38 runs in quick time before Larry Edward got the crucial wicket of Griffith for 64 to leave Jaguars on 159 for 2. Edward finished with figures of 4 for 34, while Shillingford took 3 for 37 and Keswick Williams 2 for 40. The Volcanoes never seriously threatened in their runs chase, with only 3 batsmen scoring more than 20 runs. Lewis ended with 4 for 25 from 7.3 overs, while Veerasamy Pomal took 3 for 32 and Ricardo Adams 2 for 22. And Trinidad and Tobago's Red Force used a strong batting performance to help propel them to their 4th successive win of the Regional Super 50, courtesy of a 70-run victory over West Indies B at the Queen's Park Oval on Thursday. Now, the home side was boosted by half-centuries from Jason Mohammed, Lendell Simmons and Dinesh Ramdin on the way to positive competition total of 313 for 9, 318 for 9 from their 50 overs. Alzari Joseph then hit an unbeaten half-century in a losing cause as the Windies put up a fighting effort on their way to folding for 248 in 43.2 overs. Leonardo Julian, who made 20, and Odin Smith, who scored 49, halted the slide of wickets during a 64-run 6-wicket partnership to help give the Windies an outside chance of an improbable victory. Narayan was the best Red Force bowler, staring 3 for 38, while Dwayne Bravo and Ravindranath Rampal each claimed 2 wickets. And switching to football now, star sprinter Usain Bolt took a huge step towards becoming a professional footballer by bagging a brace in his first start for Central Coast Mariners during a trial match on Thursday. The 8-time Olympic gold medalist, who is hoping to win a contract with the Mariners ahead of the 2018-2019 season, ran on a chipped ball played by Scotland striker Ross McCormack, held off the defender and finished powerfully low past the goalkeeper to open his account. He then capitalized on a defensive mix-up for his second, with the defender and goalkeeper colliding to leave Bolt able to tap in from close range as he guided Mariners to a comfortable 4-0 victory over MacArthur South West. And that's for Sports. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Caribbean Newsline is brought to you by the Barbados Tourism Marketing, Inc.
Dominica's World Creole Music Festival in 2018, October 26, 27, 28 at the Windsor Park Stadium in the capital city, Roseau. 3 nights, over 8 genres, 40 years of independence, 1 location, Dominica, the 20th edition of Dominica's World Creole Music Festival. For more information, like our Facebook page, Dominica Festivals. Visit our website, www.dominicafestivals.com for all travel, accommodation, and ticketing details. My love, my home, my Dominica. Building a resilient nation. See you there! Proudly sponsored by the Government of Dominica and Discover Dominica Authority.
Imagine a tropical getaway where you can indulge in unsurpassed cuisine, culture, and adventure this side of the hemisphere at a special rate. Fall for Barbados this October and dive into the rich offerings of the Caribbean Sea, or hear the stirring melodies of jazz at the Elan Trotman Jazz Excursion. Explore fine dining with our world-renowned Barbados Food and Rum Festival. Journey to our many attractions. There is so much to see and do in Barbados this October. Book today with code #4BGI.
And that's Caribbean Newsline. For more news on sport, join us again on Monday from all of us at the CMC News. Thank you for watching. Have yourselves a good night.